it's Miss Katelyn. I am here today to show you how to make some messy food art. We will be making, oops, knocked over my knife, some jack-o'-lantern oranges and some apple monster faces. I don't know if you can see it, my lighting's a little wonky. There we go. So I am going to flip the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing, and we're going to get started. We're going to start with the jack-o'-lantern mandarin oranges. First, we're going to peel the orange. And parents, if you're wanting to have this all set up ahead of time, you should cut little 1-inch pieces, one per pumpkin, however many pumpkins you're going to make, and have those ready to go. You want to keep the pumpkin together in one piece. You don't want to pull it apart. Sorry, the orange in one piece, not the pumpkin. It's not a pumpkin yet. So I'm going to take this nice leafy piece of my celery and I'm going to stick it in the hole that comes when you peel the orange. And then I'm going to stick one of my pieces of celery in. And that's it. There's my cute little pumpkin. Now, if you want to make it into a jack-o'-lantern, you can take some peanut butter, and I like to put it on my butter knife and then kind of dip my chocolate chips into it. I think it just makes the process go a little faster. You need just enough that it'll stick to the face. You could also use like icing for decorating cakes and cookies. That would work really well. I just didn't have any, so this is what we're going with. Oh, I have some right here. You also don't have to use peanut butter. Any nut butter will do. You really just need it to be nice and sticky. So sun butter, almond butter, those are all fine. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing in front of the pumpkin. You could also probably use sprinkles if you only had butter and sprinkles. That would work. Really, you just need something dark enough that it shows up on the pumpkin and something to make it stick to the pumpkin. I'm almost done. I think I need one more. Something like that. There he is, my happy little jack-o'-lantern. I'm gonna set him right here. And then we're gonna move on to the spooky apple faces, the monsters. So first I'm going to start with the red apples. You're gonna want to quarter them and then cut them into thirds. You want the slices to be nice and thin because then they don't fall apart when you put them together. But you're also gonna need a quarter apple slice for the bottom of it. You'll see what I'm saying in just a minute. So I'm gonna put my knife to the side. Gonna cut another quarter of an apple. Again, if this is something you just want to have ready to go, I would recommend parents slicing the apples ahead of time. Take 1/2 of the apple, slice it into quarters, take the other half, slice it into quarters, and then take those quarter pieces and cut them into thirds. Some peanut butter on here. I got too much, I think. That's okay, we're gonna make it work. Okay. Now I'm going to take some marshmallows and I'm going to stick them along the apple slice for my teeth. Now if you can't find mini marshmallows and all you can find is the big ones, have no fear, because I also could not find mini marshmallows. I could only find big ones, so I took them and I cut them into little pieces. And you can probably tell they're not perfect, but that's okay. It's about the process. So and there you have, once you stick that other piece on top, your apple teeth. So I'm going to set that off to the side. Now we are going to start our monster faces. So first what I did is I took a strawberry and I sliced it. I'm going to show you how I sliced it just so that if you're not sure. I'm going to cut the top off. Set that to the side. And then I took it, I turned it so that that top that I just cut off is facing towards me. And I cut off just, hold on, there's a hair. Just a sliver on each side to kind of thin it out. Not a lot. I set that to the side and then I cut it in half so that I had 2 tongues. So for every strawberry, you'll get 2 tongues out of it. So I'm going to set those aside. Now I have a half of an apple from making this one earlier. I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it into a quarter of an apple. I'm going to cut out the core. You don't want that in there. You're going to want to kind of set it like this. I might actually cut off just another sliver of this. You want it to be nice and thick so that it sits on its own, but you don't want it to fall backwards. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to take one of my quarters that I cut into thirds. Spread some peanut butter on that. Just a nice thin layer. A nice thin layer on this one. Just enough that everything sticks together. Like that. Well, this part, you don't even have to make these stick together. You can just push them up next to each other. And you can set the tongue in. I lied. You do want it to set just a little bit on top. Like that. Now I'm going to take some of those marshmallows and stick some teeth in the mouth. However many teeth you can fit is just fine, because these are silly monster faces, so they don't have to be perfect. This is about the process and having fun with your kids. So there's that. Now I'm going to take 2 more marshmallows. I'm going to paint them with a tiny bit of peanut butter, although truthfully, because I cut them, they're probably sticky enough on their own, but just in case they aren't. A little bit of peanut butter, stick those on the top. And then we're going to take 2 chocolate chips. We're going to stick those in the middle of those marshmallows. And there you have it. Again, icing would work just as well as the chocolate chips for this. And here is my silly monster face. That's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have fun and we would love to see your creations. Bye guys.